the Revoltech Amazing Yamaguchi Kaiyodo MOONKNIGHT KO Bootleg from AliExpress. Stick around. What's up, and welcome to Crossfire Collectibles. Today's video, we're going to be unboxing and reviewing the Revoltech Amazing Yamaguchi Kaiyodo MOONKNIGHT. This is a KO bootleg that we picked up as part of a Black Friday deal on AliExpress for $16. So, heard some good news about these. Apparently these KOs are pretty top of the line. So I got my copy and we're going to open it and check it out. First, we're going to go ahead and check out the box. You see there's a picture of MOONKNIGHT here. There's no windowed packaging. You got the all black Kaiyodo up at the top, MOONKNIGHT down here. At the top, MOONKNIGHT, Revoltech. On the side, Revoltech MOONKNIGHT. On this side, Revoltech, and a couple pictures of MOONKNIGHT. At the bottom, Revoltech. On the back, you have a bunch of different poses for MOONKNIGHT all around. Here you see a bunch of the accessories that the figure should come with. There is an official Marvel logo on here. However, this is a KO, so how they squeeze that out, I don't know. But we're going to go ahead and pop this open. But first, please subscribe to the channel. Alright, so let's go ahead and pop this open and check it out. So, pull out this inside tier here. We'll get the box off to the side. And we'll check out the figure in the plastic dungeon. There he is. He's got a good look for a KO, that's all I gotta say. You see all the accessories and around scattered out. You got a sticker at the bottom. On the back, this is his stand. So we'll just go ahead and tear that off. Now let's go ahead and pop this figure open. So he's taped to high hell in this thing, so we're gonna go ahead and have to cut him out. So we're just gonna go ahead and take our X-Acto knife, pop that open. I think we're gonna lose all the accessories as we're doing it. So we're just gonna go ahead and cut everything out. All right, so here we go. We got out MOONKNIGHT and all the accessories, and this figure comes with a lot. Now, I did have a chance to physically take the figure out. I just straightened his foot, and man, just off the bat, feeling that cloth on that cape, wow, that's something, especially for, for a KO figure. But we need to go over the accessories first. So I'm going to go ahead and bring his hands in, and we're going to go over all these. So first up, we have this pair of grip hands here. You can see here, he's got basically a full grip, so he can hold probably his moon blades in there. So that's really nice. You got that wider opening in there and that gap. The hands are not connected, so there is a little opening that you can reach inside to, pop the stuff in however you want. I'm thinking we can probably also stuff that staff in there if we needed to, but we'll check that out as we get to it. The second hands, so they almost look like trigger fingers. A little shorter, the finger is not out that far, it's in a bit. So also probably to be able to hold, I think, his staffs. So that would make much more sense. The kind of silver, it has like a silver white tone to it. A little bit of a darker airbrushing down on the fingers, which is really nice. You see the peg holes at the bottoms at the wrist. So very cool. Next up, you have his trio of moon blades that he's holding, in between his fingers. So 3 on each, almost like he's gonna fly through the sky and chuck 3 at you, so you got a chance to dodge them, or you're probably gonna get hit by one. Very cool, nice detail. They look great. I love the knuckles. You got them like little pads that sit around at the edge. So really neat there. The next hands are kind of just these dropped, kind of chill motion, swaying hands. Or you can have them almost as he just threw it effect, not fully open yet, but something going out. These look good as well. Kind of reminds me of Dr. Doom looking at him. Really nice. The final extra pair of hands, you have these more open, kind of wide dynamic hands. So if you did do, a throwing pose, you could have this smaller hand, and then going into the large one. It might work good with some stop motion, that's what I'm thinking, but nice. You could also put him in a pose, you know, kind of have him on the ground, holding himself up by just his fingertips. Really, really cool. The next pieces, you have these little holster clips. So these will plug into the back of the figure's belt. You can use them to plug these little half staffs into. So if you want to slide them in, you can do that. And then I'll show you the spots on it when we go to the figure that these can plug into the back of the belt. So that's a nice little touch. While we're at it on that, we'll go ahead and show off his two half staffs. So the two of them, not quite one, but you have these smaller two, almost very Daredevil-ish. You know, one in each hand. Bop, 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 bop. So pretty cool. Couple of grooves on here. One down at the tip and one almost through the middle, a little past it. They also have that silver white paint job to them. All right, moving on, we have these extra collar pieces. So you can see there's a peg on each of them. These would plug into the figure. Actually, I have them backwards. So something like this to give him a bit of an extended collar around that hood. Now you have his staff. So this is a full staff right here. It doesn't seem to be painted as the smaller staffs are. This one looks like it has a paint coat over it, but this one seems like it's simply just a plastic mold with that color added into the plastic. So I probably will end up using this one and not those two with this figure, but it looks great. Nice and straight, not warped in any way. Now we have his pair of moon blades here. So these are the larger ones. With these hands that we saw over here, you know, especially these grips, it looks like we could probably slide that up in there so we could hold it just like that. Oh, nice fit too. It's like perfect. I like that. I like that a lot. Let's see if we can fit it in the other ones. So we get that one with more of the extended finger out and see how that looks. Oh yeah, nice. So the fans do hold these pretty well. I actually really like that. These are cool. You know, they have pretty much just a gray plastic. Doesn't look like much to it. Maybe a little bit of metallic was added into it, but they give off a little bit of a sheen, but not too much. And I'm okay with that. You can actually see probably where these came off of a sprue. So you have a little bit of excess in there. We can just probably sand that off. Shouldn't be an issue. And then the final accessories, you have a pair of extra faces here. So you can see they have that almost that silver white with a bit of a darker shade up at the top. Very light blue in the eyes. This face is almost like a kind of a frowning face. You know, he's got the eyebrows going. And then this face is like more of his angry, mad face. You can see him frowning all up inside there. Facial expressions up on the forehead, the eyebrows, a little above the mouth and on the cheeks. So really nice. And now for the figure. So here is the Revoltech Moon Knight. I gotta say, he looks really good. Looking at the hood up here, that is actually plastic and not cloth like the cape. The collar around it is plastic as well. As I mentioned with these two extended pieces, there's a little hole here and here. So you could be able to plug these in. So if we wanted to do that, we would simply just take it and pop it right on in like that. I'm going to leave one on for now because we're going to show off his articulation. We don't want that to interfere. But let's look at the head. So this face on here, it looks pretty good as well. That's more of a, he's got his eyes up. You know, his eyebrows are kind of raised a bit. You can see more of the wider eye. The very light blue metallic paint job on the eyes. Looks pretty good. I got a little scrape on the end of the hood here. That's all right. Not stressing that too much. You see the moon symbol on his chest. Take a look at the belt. It's not attached. Go around to the back and you can see those two extra holes here where these pieces would plug into. So if you wanted to, you can pop it in right here, and you could take out these little quarter staffs here and pluck them on. So he has a little holding area for them. So slide that up in there like that, and he's kind of got that hidden. I noticed something else too, like right here next to that, there is a Marvel stamp on the back of that belt. So these, I guess it's possible these could have been made in the same factory, but I don't know. Moving on, we're gonna check out this cape. So as I mentioned, when I opened this, I noticed that cape and I was like, man, that fabric is pretty nice. There is a wire running completely around it, so that's cool. Nice open cape. I mean, you can get kind of that crescent moon look. So depending how you pose them, you get that standing up. It should look pretty nice. There's also a wire running straight down the back right here, so you can do some crazy poses with this cape. Now that's cool. That's going to take some time to mess with, so I'm going to get back to that later once we, have some time to pose him up. But very nice job on the cape. If we could remove that, that'd almost be worth it just to get the cape. You could toss it on a Marvel Legend or something. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and check out the head. So first I want to go ahead and try to pull this hood off. So we got to get this separated on each side. I'm going to lose that as we're doing it. Get this plucked out. And a little sticky, but here we got it pulled off. So you can see the cape. Now that's definitely some kind of crazy paint job, because inside of there you have some black mixed with the white. It felt a little sticky, like it was actually just painted and then stuck on. And then we can actually remove the cape. So very cool. We probably could put this on a Legend now that we're looking at it. And then we go on to the figure's head here. And if we want, we can go ahead and detach this face. And we could put any of the three on. So we'll try this one, see how that looks. That's not too bad. I actually like that one a lot. We'll check out this more angry, mean face. Get that plugged in right there. That might be a little too much. I think I'm going to go with the second one, because that looks really good. So we'll go ahead and pop that back on. You can see around the neck too, there's some paint, scattered around on that black. But anyways, let's go ahead and check out the figure's articulation. So up here at the shoulders, you can see that they are on ball joints. Some kind of crazy ball joints up in here. There's not any full shoulder over top, but that's okay. This almost acts as a bit of a butterfly joint and a hinge. So if you want, you can put the arm completely up that high. It can rotate a full 360. Very nice. Go back and in. You have some bicep rotation. You have a ball joint at the elbow that allows it to go double jointed. So back here at the tricep and down in between the elbow right there at the forearm. So, wow. Lots of nice articulation there. Down at the wrist, you have another ball joint that's stuck to a peg, so you can pluck that out. Push it right back in. You see that can rotate a full 360. Angle in, out, up, and down. Very nice. All right, so with the head, you have just these ball joints all over. So that head can look forward, up. It can go side to side. And there's some range of motion with that neck as well. Interesting. All right, the torso. So you have some mid-torso rocking right here, as well as down at the waist. There is a swivel and a tilt, so he can angle to the left or right, whichever way. I think I already mentioned, but the belt is not attached, so it is detached from the figure. Down to the legs, so up at the hips. Leg can come forward that far, back that far, out to the side, about that far. It's got some thigh swivel, and it's odd. It's at a kind of an angle here, so it's not straight across. That's different. He's got some double jointed knees. So you can see the knees can come all the way up. And check out that foot. All right, so down at the calf, he has some swivel rocking right here. So another ball joint right there. But interesting. Moves pretty nice too. All right, and then we'll come down to the ankle. Another set of ball joints here. So that foot can angle that far forward. It can go up that far. There is some side-to-side rocking as well. He's got a hinge at the toe. No pegs on the bottom of the feet. But very, very nice articulation on this figure, I gotta say. All right, so what are we gonna do with him? I'm gonna go ahead and lose this hand. We're gonna go ahead and put a grip hand in his left. Just like that. We're gonna leave the fist for now, and we'll get this one out of here. How are we gonna do this? So we gotta go ahead and put his cape back on. So throw this around, and he's got that clips that can go right underneath of his chest plate, right there. And then we gotta get that hood back on. So we'll slide this down over the face. Gotta kind of pry it apart. Almost like wedge it a bit. And get that down on the neck. And then the hood come right over top. Like that. There we go. Man, that looks great. Alright, so we want to get this arm kind of out because he's going to be jumping with the staff in his hand. Don't really need him throwing any of the other stuff right now. But let me see how we're going to do this. Go ahead and bring the staff in. And we'll get that slid into the hand. Probably something like that. So we'll go ahead and bring these pieces in and attach them to the collar. So we get one in right there. And then we'll bring in the second. And get that one popped in right here. So there we go. He's got some extra collars. Go ahead and push that hood back down. Gotta get that stuck up in there like that. And we'll check out his legs and see how well he can stand up. So with the crazy poses, he seems to stand okay. He's got some good stability. But let's go ahead and bring our stand out. So here's the stand it comes with. As you can see, you have that base. It says Kaiyodo on it. And then you have the arm here. So we'll take this and plug it on into the base like that. So these hinges feel a little bit loose. I mean, they could be a bit tighter, especially this bottom one. But we do have a screwdriver if we want to tighten it. So we just get in this small Phillips head right here. And see if we can tighten that up a little bit, make it a bit more tighter. All right, there we go. It seems to be holding pretty good. And we'll bring in our claw and attach that to the top, angle it down some. So let's bring Moon Knight in and get that claw grip around him, see how well it holds. And the figure's too heavy, so this isn't going to work. But it's okay, we have a backup plan. So I picked up a few of these as well on AliExpress. They were only a couple bucks a piece. These are model effect figure stands. So we're gonna go ahead and open this up. Very nice, that looks awesome. I think that's gonna be our pose for the shot. So now I think we're gonna go ahead and throw him up onto the turntable and then we'll give you some final thoughts. Be sure to check out our previous videos. A link will always be pinned in the comments. All right, so here you have it. The Revoltech Amazing Yamaguchi Moon Knight KO Bootleg figure, Kaiyodo, all that good stuff from AliExpress. Man, for a $16 Black Friday deal, this figure is amazing. The articulation on it is wild, man. That cape is fantastic. Nice fabric. The stitching on it like fits in perfectly, you know, along them seams. It is white stitching in there, but it's good. The wires in it, you can do that half moon shape. Man, that's fantastic. So I had to go with this extra stand here. The one that the figure came with is a little too weak. It can't really hold the figure the way I'd like to. I guess the way I have the figure, his cape anyways, flailed out, you can't really see all the accessories, but I do have them down there on the turntable. So he's got mad accessories. You know, you get those little moon knives and you get the extra hands, bunch of pairs of them, so you can do whatever you want with it. I decided for this figure just to give him a right fist hand and throw the staff in the left, and I gave him the more, I guess, the in the middle face. You know, you have the kind of normal Moon Knight face, I guess you want to call it, and then the second one where you can see he's like kind of getting into it, and that's the one I used, and then the third you have that mad face. But I went with the second one. I think the figure looks good like this. I'm not sure how I'm going to pose him yet. Likely something like this, but I want to toy around with it a bit. I think he's taking up a little too much space, but that's how I want it. I'll probably get him more of a coming down pose. I don't have any backdrops to look like a moon with him coming in front of it, but that would be nice. Maybe I'll angle him to the side, have him throwing one of his little moon's blades out and, you know, hitting whoever might be in front of him. But this figure's got a lot of potential. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, but it looks cool. Definitely worth the money. The paint job, that's probably one of my main issues with this. Several of the things were cast in plastic. Several of them have some paint that went over it. I've seen KOs where that's happened before in the past, and it just doesn't look right. Lots of chipping on them if you mess around with them too much. Like, I'll go ahead and bring in one of these quarter staffs. And I'm not sure if you can see it on the camera, but when I put it on this little peg here, it chips some of the paint off. Not cool. But the staff up here that was cast in plastic, slid that onto his hand. No issues, no chipping, no scraping, none of it whatsoever. So that's awesome. I should use some of these little moon blades here to put in one of those kind of gripped hands because they fit really nice. But I don't really have anything that I could have him throwing it at. I mean, like I said, I got to toy around with it. I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but the figure itself is great. Articulation's nice. If you tug on things a little too hard, they're going to pop off. But luckily, almost everything on this figure is connected with a ball joint and they can pop right back on. So that's a plus. But for the price, you can't beat it. If you went one with an official Revoltech, you know, you're going to pay a couple bucks. But for these, I've heard a lot of good things, you know, especially with their Deadpool, their Agent Venom. They're all great figures. And for KOs, they really knock it out the park with this. But I'm especially fond of this Moon Knight. I like that cape. Maybe later on, I'll go ahead and toy around and throw that cape on a Marvel Legend just to check it out. But for now, here's how we got it, and that's what we're going to do. So anyways, that's going to do it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed what you saw. If you did, please, like always, leave that giant thumbs up, subscribe, tickle that bell so you're notified and post future videos. Be sure to follow us on social media, and we will see you in the next one. Peace.